Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about happiness and why we are less happy than we should be. My name is Marianna Bergsdóttir. I had a burnout some years ago, 3 actually now, wow. And I've been looking at both before and after into how can I feel better in myself. If we look at happiness, then first thing first, what does society tell us happiness is? Usually it is happiness is when you're overly joyful because you're at the vacation or you just got the house you've been dreaming of, or a raise or a new job, or everyone is healthy and everything is okay and as it should be. Okay, if I look back at my life, how often is everything perfect? Not often, right? It's always something. So if we decide that happiness is only when everything is okay, then in general we are not happy. What if we redefine happiness and think happiness is when I'm content with what is as it is now? You know, if I take my current situation, it pretty much sucks to still have a burnout now, 3 years after. Still be tired even if I'm much better than I was before. So I can decide to focus on that one. It sucks to not be outside working and doing everything. Or I can take the positive thing and say, hey, I have more time with my kids, with my family. I can go on nature walks, take pictures, and do many fun things. I can't do everything I want to do, but I can be content with what is. So I choose to be. Then we have, happiness is actually about what we think. When something happens, we have two things. First thing, okay, shit happens. What am I thinking about this situation? Is what happened actually worth being angry or sad about? Or is it what I am thinking about the situation that makes me angry or sad? It is like often we are angry because life is totally unfair. I get angry when I see racism or sexism or, all these things when I hear about someone, like a woman not getting a job because she's female or or someone not getting a job because she's too old. Racism, that really pisses me off. I hate the war in Ukraine. So there is often things we really, it's worth getting angry for. Can I change this situation? Then I have to look into it. I cannot do something. If someone misbehaves towards me at work, let's say, can I do something? Okay, is it worth it taking this up with this person or is it not? To think about those things, is there something I can change? That is productive. And productive thinking is good. But when I step over to thinking in circles, it's the same thoughts again and again and again, and I'm not going anywhere, then it's not productive, and it's good to let them go. So, the other, shit happens, something. And like the other day, someone I know got sick and admitted at the hospital because of extreme stomachache. Then I have a choice. Of course, I am upset that this person has to be admitted. But should I then decide, oh my God, it's probably because it's cancer or, twisted intestines or something dramatic and dangerous and big? Or can I just say, okay, with my current information, which isn't much, she's at the hospital, she has doctors, they are looking into things. I can try to relax and let go. She was admitted for several days. I could have chosen to go in circles for 3 days or accept when the feelings come, allow them, move through them, talk about my worries with a friend, and then try to let go. It turned out it wasn't anything big that was wrong, and the doctors couldn't do much, and the stomachache disappeared, which was good. So you see, it is unbelievable when we look at our internal commentary about things that happen, how much of our feelings actually come from what we think about what is happening and not about what is happening, really happening. And if we can sort out, stop this overthinking about stuff. And how do you do that? I have more videos on this, but my general go through is talk to a friend to get it out, write in a journal, and decide to think about it, Fridays at 12 o'clock, for example. Postpone. It's really good. And if it is still up here, like 3 a.m., typical time, I can't let go, then feel my hands, feel the tingling finger inside my hands to let it go. And the mind thinks like it's used to think. It's a habit. We're habitual creatures. And, I didn't realize how far I'd come until a couple of years ago, when I met a new friend. And one day I asked her, what is good in your life? She could not mention one thing. Nothing. And I pointed out, grandchildren are healthy, you have electricity, you have food, you have a roof over your head, you can allow yourself to buy, some things, even if money isn't that good. The weather was perfect. It was wonderful weather. It's so many things that even if everything is just shit and so many things are happening around you, there are also positive things to focus on. So if you're in this group that actually only sees the bad thing, then of course you feel bad. And, I'm not talking about jumping over to toxic positivity, because that's shit too. You can't just look at everything positive and hit people in the head every time they think negative thoughts, because that's a habit. But you can train your mind over to more positive thinking, to also notice the good things, to know. And it's very good to take a few months where you have a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things in the morning that you're grateful for, and 3 things in the evening. Then, because you're going to write in the evening, you go, I saw a beautiful flower, I'm grateful for this, and it makes me a little happy. Or I saw a child smile out in the street, it made me a little happy. I have a good conversation with my friend. On really shitty days, I have electricity, or I have food, or I have safety. What it is that you do have. Because it is so easy to get lost in this bad thing, negative. And it is, our brain works like this. Because if you look at our ancestry, they had to be safe, to survive. They had to, this is bad. Okay, how can I survive those lions coming? It's better for me to live somewhere else. Or this man is dangerous and it's good for my alarm system to go up so I can avoid dying. And that those survived. And that's our ancestors who survive those shitty things. So our brain is more wired to negative than positive. We just have to train it to not be. And then we have, what can we think instead? Because my mind is always thinking, including when I meditate. So, and that is actually what the main mind is made for. And if you talk about meditation a tiny bit, then you choose, for example, a mantra or something to focus on, so to get out the other chatter, and it helps really much. And my favorite type of thinking is fruitful thinking, creativity. The most fun thing I do is like, I got this idea for a video, and then my mind goes like, yeah, I can talk about that and that and that and that. Or when I think about writing, I write all kinds of things, and I got a new idea, I can write, and then I go, because then I can narrow it down to and close out all this negative chatter that tends to be in the background. Another thing is really good, it's audiobooks. It can shut down the negative talk. And always, if you have big things, big trauma, big feelings, it's so good to talk about them, either with a friend, or if this is really dramatic, get a psychiatrist. We need to work through this shit. And problem-solving thinking. Like I said in the beginning, when shit happens, sometimes you can change something. So I try to notice, how can I fix this? Those thoughts going again and again, new thought, new thought, new thought. And the same, which one is best and how can I talk to my boss if it was something there, or to fix this problem at the job or something. And it's just good to think like this. But notice when it's begun to go in circles and nothing new comes in, then you have to let go. My worst period with this was in financial crisis. Iceland went bankrupt and we actually didn't have money for food. We could pay our bills and then we have like 10 days of food and the rest of the month was like, yeah, what do we do now? I was lucky I had a dad that helped us really much then. Now my main problem is the war in Ukraine. What can I do? Okay, I find what I can do and I try to get the feelings out, talk about them, let it go. But then it actually doesn't help that I just feel dreadful that this horrible thing is happening. I need to work on letting it go. And that's for you too. Thank you so much for listening. I hope if you like my videos that you press subscribe. Goodbye.